All right, YouTube. Candace Owens declares war on Turning Point. This is their response. Candace saying she's going to war with Turning Point, and then this is how they chose to respond to it. And I'm looking at it through I am Coach Colin because I don't know where to find all the information just to present it to you. And I don't have people giving me the information, so that way I can just present it to you. Like if I had people emailing me all the information I need, I would just do it that way. And I'm hopefully soon maybe be able to figure out how to set up an email for that specifically. Let's get to the reaction.
I want to say this because there has been a lot of reading in between the lines. It's strange to me. I think I'm a very direct person. I say what I mean. And I do not want people to mistake what's happening right now or to wrongly assume my intentions here. So allow me to be very explicit, okay? I want war with all of you. Okay? All of you.
Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Candace Owens drops that fire episode. There's going to be another one coming out very soon. And Candace says she wants war. And Turning Point said, bet, let's do it. So Candace actually responded to all of the videos like mine and Valhalla VFT, Ian Carroll, so many people who are covering Jimmy Dore, so many people who are covering Mikey McCoy's reaction when Charlie got hit.
Yeah,
the way
it's
he
wild.
casually,
It's super
within
weird.
less than a second, turned around, walked off, just kind of beelined it through the parking lot while Charlie was getting picked up and put into an SUV. He was just walking off, making calls. Everybody thought it was very weird. Then Robert McCoy comes and he makes it much worse. He says, I was the first person my son called. My son was covered in blood. It turns out he wasn't the first person that Mikey called. It was Erica. And also he wasn't covered in blood. So this pastor, his father, is just seemingly making things up. Doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Candace covers all of this.
She did yesterday.
Turning Point actually responds, and they're actually pissed about anybody, including Candace, questioning what happened with Mikey and his reaction. So I'm going to get into that. I'm going to be playing Candace's response first. Then I'm going to go over to what the boys at Turning Point had to say via the Charlie Kirk show. So I'm going to be interrupting just throughout the whole thing, but buckle up because Candace wanted war and she might actually get it.
Expression had his wits about him, and JFK had a plan. Like in the event that he had been horrifically assassinated in front of the world, JFK maybe had a succession plan. Now, if these terms I'm using here sound familiar to you, it's because they should sound familiar. It's the exact terminology that was utilized by Pastor Rob McCoy just for...
I watched this yesterday. I'm not going to really respond to this because if you want to see my reaction to this, it's up on YouTube.
Days after Charlie was murdered. In front of his congregation, he spoke about Charlie's succession plan that he was somehow privy to. I don't know why, but he knew 4 days later and announced to the world that Charlie indeed had a plan. Take a listen.
Everyone's worried about the leadership of TPUSA. Don't. He was wise enough at 31.
Actually, I just want to, we already covered
to
this.
put together
I don't need to cover this. I need to find the spot where we get to where...
a plan for succession. It's very clear what they decided, and they're implementing it now.
Amazing. I mean, amazing. So on September 14th, we were made aware
Okay, here
of
we go.
this succession plan.
Everybody who's looking into this wants that for Turning Point. They have from the beginning.
My bad,
Nobody
Coach
wants the
Colin. This is
company
the part I
that
need
Charlie
to see.
died for, literally died for, to just go belly up. Nobody wants to see the people in there as anything other than virtuous, anything other than amazing. So
This is what I get for not watching the video first. You see what I'm saying? Pre-watching, right? Like probably a lot of people do. I don't pre-watch anything if I'm watching it live on here. So I didn't know that he was going to cover a bunch of stuff. I just posted a video covering already. You know what I mean? So my apologies. Now let's get into the part that we need to watch, which is about the response to Candace's video yesterday.
As this act like oh, these people coming at us, these crazy people. It's like, no, you're just not. You're responding so oddly. There's people who don't know him who are crying. I was one of them. There's people who don't know him who are crying, who want answers, and you guys are like, well, I mean, now that these text messages are out, I can talk about this a little bit, and it's just weird, man. They just don't have the
Now
way
that they're out,
dealing with this whole thing is just like the way Mikey McCoy walked away when Charlie got hit. It's the same type of awkwardness.
And by the way, he logistically less than a second went from his hand being down to his side to his head with his phone in less than a second, physically making it impossible for him to call someone within that time frame.
Where you're just like, what the hell was that? And it's like, you don't want to make any assumptions, but you're just like, what was that? What just happened? Why are you doing that?
He wanted to say, what the fuck was that?
Anyway, let's get into what Turning Point had to say. Let's play that right now. Let's go. Here's the response to Candace. Of course, they will not say her by name. She is Voldemort around those parts. You cannot speak her name. She's Candyman around those parts. She's like a skinwalker. You do not say the name.
A nutbag, right? That's what I got hurt. I got told.
They will come. Anyway,
today.
Let's go.
Gotta do a little.
Just to be clear, I think everyone was born into insanity because I know duality is a false mental reality. Just throwing that out there. So I think everybody's crazy. I was formerly crazy. I can still be crazy at moments. I choose to attempt to be not crazy as much as possible.
Addressing of a video that went viral this weekend, and it's a video of Charlie's chief of staff. We made the decision that we wanted to address this head on because, you know, candidly, there's so much intrigue, and I'm gonna do a generous thing. The intrigue is because people care about Charlie. Okay, so that part I understand.
You're more generous than I'd be.
Yes, and that's fine. And I am going to give you the floor here now, Blake, because you were there and you actually interacted with Mikey. You were with Mikey. You left the scene and then connected with Mikey. So explain what the video is.
All right, I'm not going to
set the scene.
I'm not going to wallow in it at length, but people have. It's gone viral and people have asked us to address it, and we're going to do so briefly. The video, without going way into it, is by, I can't even remember the guy's name. Someone made a video that is attacking Mikey, Charlie's friend, Charlie's chief of staff, a guy all of us know, a guy who we've seen on the show here the last few weeks. They are attacking him, claiming, based on a few seconds of clips, that he allegedly has like a nonchalant or calm reaction to Charlie's murder. And I'm just going to be blunt about this. This is a extremely disgusting attack. And I can speak to that because I was there when it happened and I was next to Mikey when it happened. And what I can say is, I can't say every single thing that happened, but I want to talk about this specific narrow thing. That the shooting...
One, why can he not say everything that happened? Like, all I know is like, if you ask me about something that happened, I have no reason to not tell you everything that happened. Like, you see what I'm saying? There's no cover. You know what I mean? I saw a UFO. You know what I mean? September 24th, 2011. Like, you see what I mean? It was right before I started my journey. No, it was 2010, I think, maybe. I can't remember the exact year now because it's been a long time, and I didn't have the ability to document it in any way, shape, or form. I had a flip phone that was black and white screen, no camera.
Occurs. I am next to Mikey.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, there's no reason to leave out details, right? I can explain to you the whole story. I'm not going to go into the UFO story. I'm just saying, like, if someone asked me, like, oh yeah, can you give me the details? I would be able to not have to worry about holding anything out because I just tell everything.
Both of us hear a loud crack. We both turn. We both see Charlie, who has been shot. Both of us, I think at about the same time, realize that that means there is a shooter who is on the scene. And, you know, you just hear the crack, so you don't know, did it come from far away? Did it come from close? Is there a mass shooter unfolding right now? So I and him both had the reaction of, let's get out of here before we're both shot. That is not us abandoning Charlie. Charlie had a security team. They all leapt immediately into action, and they got Charlie out of there, which...
Now, since this guy's being so confrontational, and I hear him say that's not abandoning Charlie, I'll say this. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So,
yeah, like,
there's
yeah.
that. Now, it could be understandable because it is a time where you are either going to revert to cowardice and self-preservation, like most people would, or you're going to run to your friend and make sure he's okay. I mean, even just the natural thing of my friend falling, I'd be like, oh, I'm not security, but I have to catch my friend. I have to. Like, he's falling.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not
Yeah,
well,
right.
He's falling on the ground right now, but security's supposed to be here to handle that. That's not my job, actually. What? That's not how you do that.
Yeah, being someone's friend isn't a job. Like, you see how that doesn't make sense. Oh, they have a security team for that. Yeah, what he's saying makes no fucking sense, bro.
Friendship? That's not how you do friendship.
Not at all.
Just saying. Just saying. Since we're taking this confrontational tone, we can do that. Can do that all day. I'm covering Candace right now. Confrontation all day. We can do that. But, you know, honestly, it's a little odd. You know, we both ran away as soon as the shot hit. That's not abandoning him. What is it then? What are you talking about? Look up the word. Your friend was there and you were there. And for all you know, somebody wanted to take more shots at your friend. I'm not saying jump in front of bullets or anything like that, but don't add, like, let's call it what it is. You did run off. You ran off. It's fine. Like, I guess. I mean, it's going to be something you think about for a long time, but
Probably not. Not the way.
Oh, he had security.
I mean, the way he's reacting doesn't seem like he's thinking about it too. He wasn't even thinking about probably even needing to even talk about this until it like required him from virality to talk about it.
There, so this is not us abandoning him. Nonsense. Anyway, let's keep going.
Which was what their job was to do. My job was not to get in the way and screw this up because like I had to be a hero. That was not my job.
Wow, he's actually... I said that as a joke. I said that as a joke. The whole it's not my job thing. And then he actually went to it. Wow. This is what I mean with Turning Point, man. Every time they speak on something, it's just like... It's like, what?
I remember even running past, both of us going past the SUV that we came in on, and me thinking, should I get in that car? And then thinking, no, that's a really stupid thing to do. And then I kept going. So I was not with Mikey, or I don't remember being with him. I think I was ahead of him as we left. And then we get out, and I run for, can't have been more than 15 or 20 seconds. And then I realized there hasn't been another shot. So the shooter has likely been detained or stopped or something, not in immediate danger. I pause, I look around me, and I see Mikey. And I see Mikey there. And truthfully, I will never forget what I saw because I've seen Mikey almost every day for the past 2 years. I know his personality very well. He's a very bubbly guy. He's a very happy guy almost all of the time. And I'll never forget what I saw because it was clear in the moment that he was profoundly freaked out. What I'll always remember is the way his lip was quivering, which I'd never seen before. And you very rarely see from someone that...
What is he saying right now?
I think he literally said to me, I might be imagining this, but I think what he literally said was, he was looking around, and then he says, I need to call Erica. And then he takes his phone, and he begins calling Erica.
He could be imagining it.
this.
Right.
I
Spot
might be
on,
imagining
Colin.
this. Hey, guys, just...
Hey, I saw a UFO, but I might be imagining it. Oh, hey. Did you see that unicorn? I might be imagining it.
So, you know, as I'm telling you this, I might be making this up completely, but just let Candace take over the show. Charlie Kirk show, just let Candace take over. She doesn't have these moments that you guys are displaying. Just let her take over. It's fine. She's going to talk about Philip.
I ain't gonna lie. Candace Owens is a much better speaker. Public speaker than this guy who is speaking currently seems to be. And I'm working on public speaking right now. I will continue to get better. Like, I actually have a very high vocabulary and know how to use it very well. Just cameras weird me out my whole entire life. So I have to figure out how to get around that completely so that way you can see how well I can talk instead of babbling like an idiot.
Philadelphia and divesting and no more aid, and it's fine. Don't worry. Let her. It'll be okay. There's other donors. Don't worry. Just let her take over because this is ridiculous. But I hear him, and I don't think he's making that up about the lip quivering. I don't think he's making that up. I think that's something that could definitely happen to someone who's never seen anything like that before. Let's keep going.
And I don't want to disclose how that call unfolded, but he did that. This, your mind extends all of this, but that is happening within a minute of all of this occurring. I remember he calls Erica. Around the same time, I pull out my phone and I call my mom just to say, Mom, there's been a shooting. You're going to see it on the news. I'm okay. Pray for me. I've got to go. And I remember that call. And around the time I put that phone away, and then he immediately calls his dad. He calls Rob McCoy, and he says, Dad, someone shot Charlie. You need to call all of your pastor friends. Charlie was hit. We need everyone to pray right now. And that's what he told him. And I guess it's very
it's real, dude. Most of what he's saying, it's regurgitation.
Disgusting for me as someone who witnessed this, who saw Mikey hugely distressed and then step up in the moment, because after that call was over, I saw Mikey like get total mastery of himself, that he realized he had to step up in this situation. And from that point, he was like a general directing a battle where he was, grabbing people and saying, okay, we need to get to the hospital and we need to do these things. And you guys need to wait here. I need to get in here to get information so that I can get it to Erica. And when we learned he was dead, he came out and he told us, and then he says, now none of you can say anything that you've heard, because Erica is not going to hear about this from anyone except me.
Can I ask a question? I've just been thrown into this 10 minutes ago, but there's a suggestion online that Mikey, Charlie's chief of staff, one of the most sincere people you'd ever meet, brilliant, Christian, kind, everyone he ever met in his entire life, couldn't hurt a fly, was part of a conspiracy to murder Charlie. That's what's going on.
Yeah. It's vile. It's utterly vile.
Who would do this?
That's
what type of individual? Just to create content? Do we think?
Not necessarily what happened.
What's the narrative that we're pushing right now? How are we demonizing these people? Can we? How are we going to demonize these people very quickly? Let me just say, Mikey was next to Jesus-like. He looks like Jesus. He smells like Jesus. I've seen him rise from the dead at least twice. Last time I had water, he was nice enough to turn it into wine. He's the nicest person in the world. He's actually nicer than my wife. And if I could have married him, I would have married him. The thing is, though, he said no. I was really torn up about it because he's a great guy. Best guy ever, actually. Is it that Mikey that you're talking about? Just ridiculous, man. Well, hey, listen. You got to back up your boys, right? If that's your friend and you know him, you kind of have to do that kind of thing, and you should for your friends, right? It'd be surprising if he was like, "You mean that trash bag human being, Mikey?" I don't know. It would be crazy if he said that. You'd be like, "What's going on?" Andrew and Blake.
I'm kind of going, "What's going on?" Anyways, because it makes no sense for him.
Can we cut?
Why can't Mikey speak for himself?
Where's the guy who took the camera footage from the day that happened to Charlie? Is he here? Can he take the footage, please? Take this footage as quick as possible.
All right, get it out of here.
So, yeah, it's kind of expected, but I get it. They're trying to make it seem like anybody who's because what's really happening is they're positioning it like it's an attack, when in reality, people are. Listen, first off, Mikey's reaction is just it's weird. I was going to say wild. It's not even wild. It's just weird.
It's super
very
weird.
So when people start asking questions, you instantly can move towards, are they saying that he did this and this? People aren't really saying anything. They're just saying, look at.
Right. I didn't hear Candace say anything about him being a part of anything. It just is weird, the reaction and the speed at which someone does something is weird. If you're not on the phone, why would your arm go up? If your hand's down here and you're standing there with your phone in your hand down here, and not looking at it or anything like that. And then the gunshot goes off. What made him go put the phone up to his ear? And then the whole time, what did he like? He did this and then went behind the canopy and then took the phone down and was like, "Oh, I got a dial," and then fucking put the phone back up. And that's what we saw. Well, that's why we didn't see him actually dial anyone. Like, because him putting his phone so quickly up to his head, bro, it makes no sense.
How weird this person reacted, right? And there are some people who are taking the attack position. There are, of course, but not everybody is. Some people, most of the people making these videos are just asking, why would somebody react like that? And then also asking the question of, why would his father say the things that he was saying? That's it. But to position it like it's truly vile. And because here's what they're doing.
They have to do that so that way you guys stay stuck in the left-right paradigm, lie, bullshit, false mental reality, excuse me.
They're trying to position it as anyone who participates in any thought process like this is a vile human being. That's what they're trying to do.
Right, and that's going to work to some degree.
Let's keep going.
Don't know. I think a lot of this mindset just sort of fuels itself. It's sort of addictive in the same way a lot of social media stuff is addictive, or in the way like honestly something like pornography is addictive or something. Like they get really they almost get a high off of like the idea of like that they're doing something that's daring or out there.
Yeah, and I want to make one other point though. And this is actually to your point. You saw Mikey do heroic things that day. I saw Mikey do heroic things. I was not.
I can't ignore that comment about it being like, what do they say online when you're talking about that? Corn, like it being corn. That's what. What are you saying? You see what I mean by every time? What are you saying?
I don't get how I don't
more
think
scripted. Do it.
Look, I don't think anyone could check it out, bro. If someone asks a question and the response is immediately to make the other one seem like they're not a good being, or they're a piece of crap, or they're just out there, or they have no credibility for asking the question or anything like that, that one has already failed the debate. They've already failed the ability to defend anything, because you got to comprehend. If you go like, it seems like Mikey reacted a little weird. What is that about? And you're like, you're a piece of shit. Like, you already lost the ability. That just means like there's something there. That's a string to pull. That means something is hiding behind that. If you don't want to just be like, oh, well, no, this is just his personality, and he wanted to call, like, it's just a nervous reaction, like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? There should be some form of, I don't know how to explain such a thing, because it makes no sense to me, so my brain can't register, like, why he would do that. Like, you know what I mean? Turning and walking away, I can kind of get, like, getting somewhere where it's safe, I can kind of get in some sense, right? But the whole putting his hand to his phone to his head right away in less than a second, that makes no sense.
If that's what you got to do, get scripted. Have somebody make the scripts. I don't know. Get teleprompters, something. Because what is he talking about? Is that how you guys are feeling? Hey, who out there? Let's be serious right now. Who out there feels like they're watching corn when you turn on one of my videos and I talk about this stuff? Hey, let me know who it is in the comment section, because I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you, and you're not going to be able to watch these videos anymore. I'm going to tell every creator I know to do the same, okay? You let me know who is feeling that way, please. Is that what Ian Carroll's doing over on his channel? Is he?
He's streaming porn.
Is he sitting there like, next? Oh man, I'm gonna pull up this video right now, boys. Ooh, get ready for this one. Is that what's going on over there? That's not what's going on over here. I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's keep going.
On site, but I immediately flew to Utah. We got a plane. I mean, it's not something that I'm used to, but it was like my wife went with me. We went straight over. I knew I needed to be with Erica and the team immediately just because, you know, I just knew. But that moment when I got the news, I was so shell-shocked. I was not even there, but I was immediately traumatized. My brain fries like an egg. I can't see straight. I can't think straight. All I knew is that, like, what's happening? My wife came in. She, like, hugged me. We started crying together. And I can't even remember those moments very clearly. I wasn't even there. Mikey was two
Mikey's
steps
talked
away,
about that.
and I asked him, I was like, do you even remember the moments after? He's like, I can't even really remember. I know I called Erica. I know I called my wife. I know I called my dad. I can't even really remember the steps I took. I can't. But here's the last thing I want to make a point of.
Okay, that tracks. That tracks to some degree, bro. Like if there's a mass shooting like that tracks. I can't clearly recall. It would take them a minute. They'd have to really think about it. Like they'd have to really like break it down. Like, you know what I mean? You have to like really take it all in. I don't know. I've never been in an experience like that, so I don't know.
And Charlie had given me similar instructions along the years. Said if anything ever happens to me, you call Erica.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. He drilled that into Mikey's brain so that when this moment of trauma happened, that he turned around and he knew he had to do it. And by the way, I just last thing, because this is part of the video allegations here.
Hold on a second. So it was drilled into his brain. So when it happened, he knew he had to do it. That is not what Blake was saying. Blake was saying he walked away, he was shocked, and then he was like, oh, I have to call Erica. But also Blake was saying he doesn't even remember if that's actually what happened.
Right.
And then also the wife and the father were called as well. So again, you know, don't want to feel like I'm nitpicking there, but it's just a little different.
They're all
clip.
NPCs, bro.
Is that they think
comprehend all these people are stuck in a left, right, false mental state. Like they're stuck. They don't get it. All their senses are manipulated. That manipulated reality can look and feel and be as real reality as any reality. This is all an illusion. Everything is an illusion. And that's why you have to be able to discern what the truth is versus what lies are, or you could be stuck in a false reality and think it's real.
They're alleging that he was on the phone immediately. He was not. He was taking social videos, which he would send to our group chat, which we would then put on Charlie's social while the event was happening, so you could see like the crowd come in or his interactions. And we were only 2 questions into this event, so he was still getting it out to all the chats he needed to do, which he did at every event. He turns around, and it was so blaringly loud, I'm told. You would know this better than I, but this is what I'm told. It was so blaringly loud, and he was so shell-shocked. He put his fingers in his ear, but his phone was still in his hand. He walks away, and he's...
not even walk. I want to... Because people are talking about that. The way it was is we had a cordoned off area with grates, so you had controlled access. All the people, when this happens, they all get the idea we should leave before we are shot. And so there's a little narrow gap that I think... people, it's not really walking, it's that everyone has to slow up to get through this little narrow choke point to get out of the area. And
anyways, well, the point is he walks briskly. I don't even care if he's walking, running, whatever, because again, the most traumatic thing you could imagine had just happened to him. My brain fried. I cannot imagine what was going through your guys' head being on the scene and seeing it and knowing, again, the security guys are jumping in. He turns and he, like, I'm telling you, Mikey that day turned into a general on a field, marshaling the troops.
Man of Steel, general on the field.
Right.
Just, man. And
magical.
To say that, and I get that, it was so loud, but to say the shot goes off.
And you put your fingers to your ear.
And then you cover your ears and you start walking. That doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Again, I said, nobody wants to look at these guys like these guys are the bad guys. But that doesn't fully make sense. Just because if something pops off, supersonic speed, loud, it's very loud. But then to cover your ears and keep walking with your ears covered, The crowd was already roaring when Charlie walked up. They were already going nuts when Charlie was throwing the hats, and Mikey was right there filming. He didn't have to cover his ears then. So I get it that the shot was very loud, and that might make you but it
Jump.
didn't even make him do that. It didn't even make him go like this. Nothing.
Yeah,
if
he
my
went
wife banged on the door right now, just a little bit, I'd be like, "Oh, hold on a second."
Like, yeah, his just
It didn't make
for
him
his
do
first
anything
reaction
like
was his arm, and it wasn't both arms. It wasn't like
It's just
this.
weird. And then
It
you
was like
continue
this.
to cover your ears, although the loud sound is now done.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's just, and then you walk away. It's just weird. It's all weird, and we know it's weird. We know it's weird. What does Candace say? You know, but you don't. You know, you don't know, but you know. Man, it's that kind of weird thing. And when I say that, I mean we know that it's weird. Like, this is just odd.
Going epic, but like for a second there, obviously he didn't know what to do, and then he clicked into gear eventually.
He did.
It was amazing.
Mikey was a heroic figure on that day, and I really want anyone who finds like these narratives attacking him to be remotely credible to really stop and think about what you are doing, because what you are doing is bad, and it is gross, and it is a choice.
No, it's
And
not.
It's a choice you shouldn't make.
Asking questions about potential possibilities of other answers to what happened is always plausible and should be encouraged, not vilified.
There you go. That's the narrative. It's a choice you shouldn't make. Anybody who is questioning anything, it is bad, it is gross, and it is something that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, don't listen to any of those people. Question everything and question me, question yourself, question your own thoughts, question everyone, question everything.
So, you've heard Candace, you've heard Turning Point. That is their response to everything Candace had to say. That is their response to Ian Carroll. That is their response to Val.
All right, so cool, Coach Colin, go give him a like. If you want to see the, if you missed the, if you don't know what is going on with the response and you need to listen, you go to his video. You can watch the beginning of his video, or you can go to my video that I just posted, and it's the whole entire episode of Candace talking about this situation. And yeah, bye.